Maverick. Starring Jack Kelly and James Garner. Follow the Sun. Starring Barry Coe, Fred Halsey, and Gigi Perreault, Gary Lockwood, Jay Lemmon. Follow the Sun.
Starring John Russell as Marshal Dan Troop. And Peter Brown as Deputy Johnny McKay. Produced by Warner Brothers.
Bus Stop, starring Marilyn Maxwell, Rhodes Reason, Richard Anderson, Joan Freeman, and guest stars Fabian, Diane Foster, Philip Evans.
Gardner McKay in James A. Michener's Adventures in Paradise, with Guy Stockwell as Chris Parker and James Holden as Clay Baker. Guest star Ray Walston. And starring Gardner McKay as Adam Troy.
Expedition. True stories of man's quest for the unknown. Through the steaming jungles. Across the burning desert. To the depths of treacherous seas. And to the highest mountains of the world. Expedition. Actual films of the great expeditions of our time. Recorded as they happened. Your host is the famous deep-sea diver, author, and explorer, Colonel John D. Craig.
The Cheyenne Show. Starring Clint Walker as Cheyenne. And Ty Harden as Bronco. The Rifleman. Starring Chuck Connors.
Surfside 6.
What's that?
Surfside 6.
An address?
Surfside 6.
Where is it?
In Miami Beach.
Surfside 6.
Starring Troy Donahue.
Surfside 6.
Van Williams.
Surfside 6.
Lee Patterson.
In Miami Beach.
Co-starring Diane McBain.
Cha-cha-cha.
And Margarita Sierra.
Cha.
Man, woman, birth, death, infinity.
is a Warner Brothers television production.
The Bugs Bunny Show.
Overture, curtain lights, this is it, the night of nights. No more rehearsing and nursing a part. We know every card by heart. Overture, curtain lights, this is it. We'll hit the heights, and oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it. What heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it.
Your host tonight is A New Breed, a QM production.
Tonight's episode, Thousands and Thousands of Miles, starring Leslie Nielsen, co-starring Joanne Linville, Peter Fonda, Lynn McCarty, with special guest star Patty McCormick.
Direct from the campus of the University of California at Los Angeles, the new Steve Allen Show presents Campus USA. Starring Frankie Avalon, Bill Dana as Jose Jimenez, the UCLA football team, the UCLA Bruin Marching Band, and the University A Cappella Choir. Buck Henry, Tom Conway, Jim Neighbors. Extra added attractions, Robert Ryan, Arnold Moss, John Houseman, Les Brown and his band of renown, and special guest star, Connie Francis. Brought to you by Bristol Myers, the makers of Bufferin, the modern drug for pain. Can start its pain reliever into your bloodstream in 60 seconds. And by Muriel Cigars. Muriel, the cigar with a light touch and the right taste in a style to suit every smoker. And now, here he is, Steve Allen.
Howdy. Thank you very much. You folks all over the country, welcome to UCLA. I'd like to thank the band for letting me sit in, or stand in, or march in, or whatever that was I was doing there. The only reason I'm playing this tuba is I kept dropping the piano all afternoon. So it's this or nothing. Actually, I really do play the tuba. I used to play it as a kid, but I had to give it up at a very early age. I was marching in a football parade one day. It's a true story. When suddenly a big windstorm came up, caught the tuba, and screwed me 17 feet into the ground. Right around like that.
Top Cat, the most effectual Top Cat, whose intellectual close friends get to call him TC, providing it's with dignity. Top Cat, the indisputable leader of the gang. He's the boss, he's a myth, he's a championship, he's the most Hawaiian Eye.
Hawaiian Eye. Starring Anthony Isley. Robert Conrad. And Connie Stevens. With Poncy Potts.
Hawaiian Eye.
Produced by Warner Brothers.
I'm not what you think, mister. Please! I don't understand. No, I'll take my hand away. Now listen. Please! Please, these papers are mine. Now, I beg you, don't do that. Now, I'll prove it to you.
Isn't that ambulance ever going to get here?
That doesn't look too bad to me, Mr. Delmer.
Then maybe you've got a thicker head than I have.
Children!
We're not here.
It won't be easy to get them into bed now, but if they bother you...
No, they don't bother me.
Did you ever wonder why it is that children get so much pleasure out of seeing grown-ups in trouble?
Well, I once spent 2 years in New Orleans with an aunt that really didn't want me.
You know, in the 25 years that I've been here, we've had an attempt almost every year to break into the files. Some children never quite believe that their parents are gone. Maybe it makes it easier for them to believe that we are lying.
But he said he was a man.
Children grow up.
Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, starring the entire Nelson family. Here's Ozzie. Here's Harriet. Here's David. And here's Ricky. Here they are, America's favorite family, the Nelsons.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
You've been my inspiration, days are never blue. After all is said and done, there is really only one, oh Margie. Margie, it's you.
Untouchables. A Desilu production. Tonight's episode, Man Killer. Starring Robert Stack as Elliot Ness. Co-starring Bruce Gordon and Anne Helm. With special guest star Ruth Roman.
Starring Brian Kelly and John Ashley. Straight Away is brought to you by Autolite spark plugs, batteries, and other quality automotive parts. When you care for your car, remember, you're always right with Autolite.
The Hathaway, starring Peggy Cass. Co-starring Jack Weston. And featuring the Marquis Chimps. Is brought to you by
ABC TV, the network that brings you Target, the Corruptors, every Friday over most of these stations.
From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Let's ride with the family down the street, through the courtesy of Fritz and Pete. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba-dabba-doo time, a dabba-doo time, we'll have a gay old time.
77 Sunset Strip,
Starring Ephraim Zimbalist Jr.
77 Sunset Strip,
Roger Smith.
77 Sunset Strip,
Edward Burns.
77 Sunset Strip.
Co-starring Louis Quinn, Jack Willenbeer, and Robert Logan.
It's time for Fundy Funnies!
Funday! Hi, kids. Mattel Toy Makers present Funday Funnies with Maddie Mattel, the king of toys, who says to all you girls and boys, you can tell it's Mattel. It's swell.
Hi, Sister Belle. It's time for Funday Funnies, and Maddie is your host. With baby Huey and little Audrey Casper, the friendly ghost. It's time for Funday Funnies with all the friends you know. Here's Herman and Catnip and Buzzy. Crowley. Buzzy, the Bunny Crow. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maddie's Funday Funnies are coming on the air. So grab a chair and stay right there. It's Funday everywhere.
Roaring 20, roaring 20. How'd you do? I'm taking you to the roaring 20 for a true bird's eye view of the roaring 20.
The Roaring Twenties, starring Rex Reason, Donald May, Dorothy Provine, and Gary Vincent. Produced by Warner Brothers.
So wild and reckless, never boring, soaring, roaring 20.
to Beaver. Starring Barbara Billingsley, Hugh Beaumont, Tony Dow, and Jerry Mathers as the Beaver.
From Hollywood, it's the Lawrence Welk Show.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much. Thank you very kindly, folks. You can see we had a lot of fun right before the show, and that's the reason for all this applause. We were out there, Myron and myself, warming up the audience. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our show. It's so nice to have you with us. This evening we have our special guests, our wonderful violinist, Joe Labote from Warner Brothers, lovely Diane Lennon, Bo Wagner, formerly of our junior band, and sparkling Roberta Shore.
At 10, 9 Central Time.
Live from the Paramus Bowling Center in Paramus, New Jersey. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Johnny Johnston. Welcome to the show. Thank you. Our show tonight brings together our spare maker from Detroit, Michigan, the fellow who won the 7,000 last week, Roger Helling. And his challenger, one of the world's greatest bowlers today, from St. Louis, Missouri, Dick Weber.